All right, here we are. We're talking about chord voicings and vocabulary. Now, before I get started, I just have to check the my levels, right? Because I want to kind of make sure that the levels are okay. And what else can I do? Alright, so that's the thing. And I need to reset. I need to reset my goals and stuff. But let's see if I go here. Which I should have got a notification. Maybe I need to add it. But here I'm just checking because I changed. Oh. So here I changed the bit rate. Oh yeah. Alright, so it sounds alright. It sounds a little like you can definitely tell I have a what is it? I have a yeah, this is good. I mean, it's good enough, you know. Let's see. Alright, so there we go. I mean, that's really as good as it gets. Oh yeah, let me do a test on the chat. Make sure that the chat is working. And I'm gonna leave the settings like this because if it works, it works, right? So I did a little test. Alright, that came up, I can see it. Alright, anyway, now that was who knows how long. But let's get to this topic, right? So we're talking about voicings and chord vocabulary, right? Why is it important? It seems like it's not receiving enough video, so let me exit off of this and hopefully, you know, we'll be good. Alright. Hopefully that'll make it a little bit better. Alright, what are voicings? Right? Voicings are the way that we arrange the notes. So we take a chord, let's just take this C major 7, right? This C major 7 chord, we can play it like this, right? We can take this note, put it on the top, right? We can take this note, put that on the top. We can take this note, put that on the top. And then we're back to here, right? So since we have 4 notes here, we can voice this 4 ways, meaning that this can change. This top note, this B, can either be a C, E, G, right? To get that chord, right? So we have C major, right? This is still a C major 7. That's not. That's a C major 7. That's a C major 7, right? Even though up there you can see it says E minor, right? E minor 6, but it's still a C major 7. And then we're back up here, right? So voicing is the way that you voice a chord. Now this is jazz, and I could have put it, but it works. It works with whatever the genre is, but that's where chord vocabulary comes in, because chord vocabulary is very important, right? What it does, it tells, or it allows you to speak in a certain musical language, whether it's classical, right? Right, so the left part was classical vocabulary, right? The left hand, the bottom. and I think I play like. Now that's not classical vocabulary. Playing a C major 7. Right? That's not the right hand that's playing the melody. By me playing this 7th, that's not classical vocabulary. Right? So chord vocabulary and musical vocabulary, it allows you to speak a certain type of musical language, right? So your chords. So if you wanna get good at jazz, you have to learn chord voicings. It's not going to be 100,000 of them. It's only going to be a few of them, right? You learn those, and then you build on that, right? So we're going to be talking. Let's for an example of this, let's do jazz. So because I started with this C major 7 chord, so a voicing, that our first voicing is going to be just 2 notes, right? And eventually we can actually build, which I'm playing 8 notes here, something like that, you know, so whatever. But you start at 2 notes and you can keep adding, right? Now, one voicing is going to be if it's just piano by itself, and the other voicing is going to be if it's other voicing will be if it's you and a bass player, you and a combo, right? So those are our 2 voicings, our 2 foundations that we're doing. One will be, okay, look, we have to play, it's just me. It's just me at the piano. I'm playing Autumn Leaves. Right? So it's just me at the piano. That's going to be one. And then the other is going to be if it's me playing with the bass player, right? And you can do all types of voicing, but that was a horrible bass line, I might add. That was whack. Don't play that. You play that, and you won't get any gigs. Like, the gigs are, right? They're out of there. Anyway, so starting with just you, the piano player, is you by yourself, right? This voicing, which is the root, meaning whatever you call the chord, the name of the chord, if it's a B minor, whatever, or a B major, whatever, which we're in sharps, just because the last thing I did on here, it treated all of these as sharp. So we'll keep it kind of sharpy, but it'll be fine. So here, we're in C, right? So this is going to be C major 7, and you can see it already. Oh, you know, up ahead you can see the C major 7. This is a voicing right here that we're using, and this is a part of a chord vocabulary. I'm going to play all of my chords. I'm going to play all of my songs using this voicing, right? So that's the thing, whenever you guys pick a voicing, no matter what it may be, like in gospel, you know, this is a chord, right? This is a voicing, but it's also, you know, very strong inside of gospel, like, right, and blues, but mainly like you'll hear this voicing in gospel, right? So, but in gospel you're gonna see more of flats, right? They don't call a lot of stuff sharps unless it's C sharp, which I'm more of a jazz player, so I call everything flats. Like it's D flat, so I call this D flat, E flat, G flat, A flat, and B flat, right? So I don't really deal with any sharps, but gospel players will call this C sharp, right, and playing that here, or remember that major 7, right, they're gonna call that C sharp, and I think they call this F sharp too. But everything else they call flats, you know. Or I shouldn't even say they, but you know, like I said, I call everything flats. Like I like to think of this as G flat. So that's why I'm saying they, but it should be, you know, we, but you know, I can't say we because I don't call it C sharp. I call it D flat, then I call this G flat, right? And harmonic type of stuff. But all in all, the voicing that we're doing, and we, you know, you want to add this to your vocabulary, like I was saying with the gospel thing right there. And this is getting long. I want to wrap it up because I don't want to take up too much time. But you know, this, and if we played it, you know, here. So let's see. Yeah, so you got here. It's a 13 chord. That would be a B flat. Here, that's more of a like a sharp. We don't want a sharp. So what would it be? Yeah, there it is. Here, there, nope. Here, let's see. Here. Right, so that voicing, right? Meaning that it's the same all the way. I have the 7th here, and I have the 3rd here, right? Let's see. I really don't. Let's see what we have here. Okay. So yeah, that's right. This is the 1, which is a G sharp, but I don't want to be inharmonic. So let's go here, right, to E. That way we can kind of see. So here we have the 1, we have the 7, and we have the 13. 13 is on the top, right? So this voicing here, this is a voicing, meaning that, you know, this is how we're arranging the notes, but it's also a part of my gospel chord vocabulary. Like if we have to shout, right? We gotta shout, which, you know, I don't shout in E, but you know, let's say it's all the same. And then, right, something like that. But so that's the voicing. Remember, we're talking about voicing and chord vocabulary, and we're using voicings to build up of certain voice, to build up a vocabulary. So in music, like, not even music, that's what we're talking about. So I have a piano here and some smoke. I don't know what that smoke represents, but it represents hotness. It represents fire. Okay, it represents learning. Anyway, we're looking at building up a jazz vocabulary, right? That's what we want to do. We want to build a solo piano jazz vocabulary, then we want to build a combo or group jazz vocabulary, right? We want to build this up. These are two things that you're going to find yourself as a jazz player, right? So we have to use voicings, but we have to keep using those voicings throughout the whole thing, right? If you look at Bill Evans or Thelonious Monk, whoever you like, Oscar Peterson, I don't know who you guys like these days, but whoever you like, they're going to use certain chords and certain voicings over and over and over again, right? And that's how they develop their sound. That's why they sound the way they sound, is because they have certain voicings that they use for every song, right? Just like how I did this, right? No matter what key you're in, every time you play a dominant, this is how you're playing it, which it comes to the licks and stuff as well, right? That's how you create a vocabulary. We're looking just at here, which some people, you can call this a shell, which we did that, right? But the shell means that we have the root on one end and the 7. So we have the 1 here, we have the 7th on the top, right? And that's it. We can do Autumn Leaves just with that, which I did the third, you know, a third one, not a third one, but a second one. So I use this one where I'm using the 1 and the 7, and then here where I use the 1 and the 3. So if I was using here 1 7 or 1 and 3, so those are my two voicings, and I'm just going to use those two to play different songs, right? So we can do what is that? Misty, right? Right, something like that. Okay, I've been practicing that in C, which, you know, I just should have played it in C, but it's alright. It's all the same, right? As long as I use those voicings, right? So I'm using two voicings to just stay consistent, to stay. I can't even think of the word, but consistent is a good word, right? You're staying consistent, and you're establishing a base. You're establishing, like, all right, this is where I am. This is where I'm leading off to. It's 16 minutes. That's it. That's really all I wanted to talk about in this video, is your voicings and chord vocabulary. Remember, the voicing is the arrangement of notes, how we arrange the notes, and chord vocabulary is pretty much what chords are you consistently using to produce different effects, right, within a style. So if we're talking about jazz, I'm using this no matter what song I'm playing. Right. So it'll probably be down here. Yeah, there we go. That's wrong. Something like that. Something, you know. Let's see. Let's see. So I just use the same voicing to play the song, right? So that's how we use them. And you want to get to the point where you have a certain type of voicing that you use consistently. Use it all the time, no matter what the song is. You can. It's not like you have to learn new chords, right? You look at a lead sheet. It says an E minor. You just drop down E minor, right? Or E minor here. Okay, and so as you build more and more of these type of things, then you can put them together in all different types of ways. One thing that really sticks up to my mind is Beethoven, how they say, like, Beethoven could build a submarine out of Legos, right? He could take these little small things, these small ideas, and just make them huge and link so many different small pieces together that he has a masterpiece. Right, and that's how we want to be. So that's that. Thanks for checking it out. It was longer than what I want, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. That's how it is sometimes. Okay, so that's that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe if you want. I mean, if you don't want, don't even worry about it. Like, look, don't subscribe. But if you do want to subscribe and hit the notifications, which I didn't do on my dummy account. That way I can see, you know, I need to be able to test and make sure everything is working okay. I definitely have some other stuff. I got a new piece of equipment over here, and I'll do a video on that eventually. But it's 20 minutes. This is way longer than what I wanted. So that's that. All right, peace. Reese's Pieces.